Jimmy just left. Everything is crumbling down, right? Don't let go of it. And I think Bam emerged as a leader.
Ja Morant in the playoffs is very scary. He got everything that you need to go at you.
Yeah.
And he's competitive, and he ain't bagging down.
What's y'all predictions on the Nuggets versus Clippers?
Go with the Clips, man. Healthy Kawhi this hard.
Playoff King James is different.
Yo, welcome back to Timeout with Dwyane Wade. I'm here with Darrell Wright, everybody, AKA D Wright.
Yes.
I'm also here with my brother Chris Johnson, AKA Coach Johnson.
Coach Johnson.
And we here with B.O.B., a.k.a. Rec League MVP.
Rec League champ.
Give him a full timeout. That's Spo. Spo walk out like...
Spo walk out just like this.
Come on, man.
They come out there.
You know what I need?
Middle of the
You know
play.
what I need.
We all
Middle of the
hoopers,
play.
man. We all fans of the game. We've all played it at different levels. And so this is the time of the year where we get excited.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're getting ready for the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? And let's talk about the matchups, man. Let's talk about the NBA. Let's talk about wrapping up this season, what we like, what we didn't like, what you saw, what excites you. Let's talk about the wind down to the season.
The play-in.
You first, D, right?
I love how Boston is coming out. You know, for a team to win the championship last year, they don't look like they're having a hangover. They don't look like they're satisfied.
Yeah.
Those guys are playing at a high level. Jason Tatum, got to give him a lot of credit. You know, the things he went through in the summertime after coming off one of his best seasons in the league.
Right.
Got to give him a lot of credit for what he's doing. I really love what Shea, SGA, and those boys doing down in OKC. So I'm really looking forward to a high-level playoff with a lot of great matchups and a lot of great players. I want to see what they're gonna look like, you know, when to get deep in the playoffs and put that trophy up. So it's gonna be competitive. I got some favorites. I got a sleeper. I'll tell you guys who that is in a minute, but I think Boston and OKC are kind of the guys that everybody think that matchup is gonna happen in the finals.
I love the play-in game. So even though we're talking about those two top teams, there's some teams out there that can make a run because of this playoff game, this play-in game. And some people like it, some people don't.
I'm not messing with it. Yeah, 82 games to get this shit right.
I think you got a problem
That shit is
with the
terrible.
play-in.
Why? But why though?
Why?
This is
You
because
had
it's personal.
82 games to figure it out. Why are you getting rewarded to be in the 10th team to play another game and potentially get to the finals?
It keeps you engaged.
You should be engaged. You're making $50 million. Hell, you mean engaged? I'm engaged for $1 million. Shit. Let alone 50. Hell, we doing?
TV ratings are good.
Well, now, I'm not fighting none of that stuff when it comes to like the logistics of it. I'm just saying, as a competitor, why you get an opportunity to come
So you
mess up my season that we fought for because, you know, whatever happened with your team throughout the year. Why you get one chance to...
It's valid. It's
I'm
valid.
off that.
let's look at it like this.
I'm off that.
Earlier, we looked at, you know, the West and how tight it is. You can be in
Facts.
6 and be in the
One-
ninth
a
spot.
half a game out of
You
second.
deserve to be able to play in the play-in.
At least try to get up in.
You deserve to lock in and go out there and get a win for your team.
I agree. I think D. Right, that's a valid point.
I appreciate
that. That is
that.
a very valid point. And especially as someone, why you have a valid point is because you were someone who utilized those last few games of the year to really get your swag going a little
All right
bit.
now.
You know what I'm saying?
Say now. Thank you. So
Yeah.
what you're saying is, you know, for me, and I felt like those last few games in my first 2 years where I really wasn't getting maximum minutes, I had the opportunity being a young fella, like all my guys, they probably played the first quarter or probably didn't play at all, but they had the opportunity to see the guys they were practicing against every single day. Go out there and kind of see what you got. You know, I had back-to-back 20 games, you know, the year we won the championship, and I'm pretty sure that told the coaching staff and it told the world, like, okay, he can play. Even though he's been over there developing and, you know, trying to get better, I was able to showcase what I was doing. Now these young fellas don't get that opportunity.
But what about the G League? The G League gives them an opportunity to showcase. Look what Bronny did in the G League this year. He averaged 22, 5, and 5.
Yeah, that's
Didn't he give him an
amazing.
opportunity? to showcase his talents?
Yeah, he not playing. Nobody paying attention to them games. Just because it's Bronny, people are paying attention to the game. But you go to these other games, nobody paying attention. We don't hear nobody talking about it. It's a lot of great guys that's in the G League putting up numbers. You know what I mean? So I just feel like everybody not getting that same coverage as Bronny. So do you really know how I'm hooping?
Right.
And are y'all really watching those games? I don't think so. I feel like the last few games of the season, people are tuned in a little bit more.
I mean, we arguing.
But as a fan, give me that 9 and 10.
All right, but what I do love about the play-in is this, and I agree in a lot of things that you said, D-Right, but also too, the NBA has continued to try to evolve and find these different moments and opportunity to keep the things competitive and keep the viewership watching, right?
100%.
So enter the in-season tournament play. I love the in-season tournament play. It motivates you in the middle of the season to say, let's try to go to Vegas and let's try to win this bread.
True.
I love this right here. And the reason I love when they implemented the play-in was because normally the teams that are at that 9-10 spot are teams that have had high draft picks over the years. They got young guys like Orlando or these guys like that over the last years where you need these guys to get experience. Because at some point, you asking them to be the faces of the league. You want them to be this and that, but they don't have any experience. And so you lose year after year after year because you don't understand how to execute, how to compete, what needs to be done to win these games. And so I looked at it, the Heat coming out of that to the finals was crazy. But I looked at it as an opportunity for these teams that hasn't had a lot of experience to be able to get that in-season competitive experience because, listen, everybody can't win a championship.
No doubt.
And so most guys gonna go through their career and not even sniff an Eastern Conference or Western Conference finals. They ain't even gonna know what real competition outside of regular season is like. This gives you an opportunity to feel like, all right, I know what these lights is like. If I get my opportunity, I've been in the bright lights before. This is not my first chance. That's kind of how I looked at the play-in, as it was like a good growth opportunity for the league to be able to have those players that now I think Memphis was in the play-in a few years ago. I think
so.
Right? And so we got a chance to get our young guys, Jaren and Josh, some play-in experience to learn how to play, I don't know, Golden State, whoever they played.
It was
Golden State. Yep. Now, they supposed to be ready, right? You think they're ready because they've done it. We've already had that experience. We've seen them play. We know. So I just kind of look at it like that, but I respect what you said.
I respect it.
I can't fight that either. I can't fight that either.
I respect it.
But G League, wait, tell us about the G League. Oh, it was the D League when you went in the D League.
Yeah, so it was the D League when I went, the developmental league. And I'll never forget when they sent me and Earl Barron down there. We was getting ready to go on a 12-day road trip, or it might have been 16 days. It was like one of the longest trips. It was 6 games on this trip. And one of the stops was LA. So Pat calls me into the office like, you're going to the D League. I'm like, hey, wait, what you mean? Hey, you're going to go to the D League while we go on this 12-game road trip or 12-day road trip. We got 6 games. This is a great opportunity. I was like, but I got all my family coming to LA game. He said, I don't give a damn. You going to the D League. And if you do well, then when we come back, you come back. If you don't do well, you stay there. I was so mad walking out that office. I was some bullshit. I'm like, bro, we going to LA though, and all my family. I'm not even playing. I'm like, all my family gonna be there. He's like, that's fine. So you're going to the D League.
It's the D League.
You're gonna play about 6 games, and if you do well, you come back when we come back. If not, you just stay there. I was like, all right, man. Can't fight it.
Pat.
That's Pat for you.
Listen,
That is.
we call the play-in run through the tape. That's what we call the play-in on this show. It's called run through the tape. We want everybody to finish the year out and run through the tape. What the play-in allows you to do is run through the tape. It allows you not to take time off. And I agree. What we did love as veterans was to get that opportunity to watch a young D. Wright go out there after the whole season of being a practice player to go out there and get a few games and do his thing. We love that. But also, too, what I love as a competitor, see these guys compete all the way through.
All the way through, bro.
You know what I mean? If you care enough about this, you got a chance all the way to 10. Damn. We giving you the 10.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, run through the tape is what the play-in is around here.
I like that. I like that. And as a viewer, when you're viewing it, you're looking forward to it. Like as the playoffs are getting close, the first thing everybody's talking about is the play-in. The first time around, I was like, I don't know about this play-in.
Right.
But now I've seen it. And I've seen the young guys get a chance. I've seen coaches get a chance to adjust. And if you give the wrong coach an opportunity like Spo,
he's gonna figure it out.
He will expose you. And so that's where catching the bad matchup comes in. So you catch a team like Spo, where they finished the season, they won like the last 4 games.
No, they won like the last 6 games. They won.
And then they won the play-in game, and then they won the other play-in game. So it's like a game. They swept Milwaukee.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
out of the play-in. Yeah.
So that's what excites me.
Yeah, man, that's not when coaching. That's when coaching come in. When you look on the other sideline, be like, you ain't coaching, coach.
Yeah.
It's that competition of coaches and not just the players that we love to see sometimes. And so you get a coach, you get a Spo locked into the play-in, and then now you look at it and say, no, they can end up being in the second round, and then the East Conference Finals with the right matchups. Inexperience of players and inexperience of coaches on the sideline because of the experience of a head coach like Spo. I mean, one thing I love about the play-in this year with Miami, and they've been in it every year. What I do love, and my conversation with Bam when they was on the 10-game losing streak, and what we would talk about was not letting go of the rope. That's Spo's thing, not letting go of the rope. You got to run through this tape. Stuff look bad right now. Jimmy just left. Everything is crumbling down, right? Don't let go of it. And I think Bam emerged as a leader.
Yep.
I think Bam is now the leader of the Miami Heat. Not saying Tyler Hero is the guy probably going to be the best player.
Right.
But Bam, I think he took the leader role when he came out and he said, like, I'm not going to allow my guys to quit on this season. And that's the conversation that Bam and I had as, you know, my rook and one of his vets. Don't you allow yourself, but don't you allow those guys to quit on the season. And we're watching the Heat not quit on that season. And you see, all right, now what they going to do now with this?
Bro, so that goes back to my point. The play-in game is going to be good because of what you're saying. They have a chip on their back. And they got a coach that's going to go back and say, we've done this before.
Yeah.
That playing game, I look forward to watching Miami play.
That's the blueprint.
You just made me want to watch them play.
Man, but I'm gonna tell you this: as a Miami fan, I don't want to. I need the pick. I'm thinking
They don't
about
have a chance with the pick
what
anyway.
pick, man.
What pick?
Isn't it that if they lose or don't make the play, or don't get into the they get the they get to keep their pick.
Bob.
Let me keep my pick. Come on,
Out real quick.
let me keep my pick, man. Let me keep my pick. Let me keep my pick.
I can't say nothing about that.
Bro,
I don't
come
know.
on.
I don't know.
Come on, because from what if I read it right, if they make it to the like they can make it to the AC,
Yeah.
their pick goes OKC.
Damn. Okay, Steve.
OKC got too many picks.
Bruh.
They got too many picks.
I don't know, but I'm glad they in it. And only selfishly, and the reason is because with Jimmy leaving and everything that went on, that turmoil in this season was crazy for them, and it's hard to focus and stay connected and together. So for them to showcase at the end of the year that they can stay connected and together, even after losing 10 in a row and all the things, bro, I want to see them in the play-in.
No doubt.
Me too.
I want to see what they bring in the play-in. Like, if I know Miami, they sitting there like, we right where we want to be.
Right where we wanna be.
No, you don't want to be there, but you know what I mean.
You right
where I want to be.
We still got a chance, a fighting chance.
But what if it's Boston? Or the
It doesn't matter.
They don't care.
You're
First
right.
of all,
They don't
Miami,
care.
Boston, you saw Rondo. We want the smoke. We want all the Boston, Miami smoke.
That don't matter. Yeah, that don't matter. You got to win one game at a time.
True.
It's almost like the tournament.
True.
And so when you look at the tournament and tournament play in the NCAA, it's just one game at a time.
You're right. You're
And
absolutely
so it's
right.
not a series, it's a game.
I like that. Okay. But all right, what about, let's go to the West. Let's talk about this play-in. I like this play-in too because of everything that happened. I like the fact that Dallas, with everything that went on,
Yep.
They got a
Same
chance.
scenario.
Anthony Davis is back.
Yep. Big fella's back. Derek is back in the middle.
Lively back.
They whole squad almost back.
So they got a few guys back. They put themselves in position to play in. Obviously,
good too, by
when
the
the
way.
trade was made, and not thinking about injuries with anyone, we thought that they had a window. We said they got a window, about a 3 to 5 year window to compete for a championship. Well, in the season that could have been looked at as a loss and a throwaway, you actually can save it a little bit.
No doubt.
But what you do right now, they got Sacramento. Sacramento is a team that, you know, obviously they get it going. They tough, but this is a team that you can possibly beat.
Yeah,
You cannot give Jason Kidd an opportunity to showcase his basketball mind. He can
Yes.
coach.
About the coach.
As coach.
And he got pieces and he got AD.
How about say he still got AD? AD's still
AD.
there, so
I love this for AD.
You always got
I
the
love this for
opportunity.
AD too.
AD go get on one.
Yeah.
Get to that first round.
Bruh,
That's what I'm saying.
playing with something.
Jason Kidd is, his basketball mind is at a very high level.
Yeah, he's at the Rondo,
Yeah.
LeBron,
He's playing chess.
CP level. Yeah.
Yep. So when you look at what he has, he's able to look at what they can do. He can change his whole style of coaching based on that team. Some coaches can't do that. They're not willing to adjust.
Right.
He's walking in and saying, all right, this is what we got.
Yeah, he know how to take away what you want to do.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing. A lot of coaches don't know how. You see teams giving it. You're like, y'all know he gonna do that. Jason Kidd would take that away. Yeah, you got to beat us.
You got to beat us.
You got to beat us another way.
You're going to send another dude up there, too. You out there massaging the ball and no. Go get him.
We saw what they did to Phoenix.
Yeah, get that ball out of his hand.
We saw they did to Phoenix a couple years ago. They was like, all right, CP, you have fun.
Yep.
Let's go get him.
Yes.
Let's go get that. Let's go put bigger guys on little man up there. And let's go take it away from him. We can't allow him to kill us on pick and rolls.
And I'm excited and I'm proud of AD. He could have chalked up the season.
He could have.
And he didn't.
Yeah.
And he wanted to play. And I seen him, he was like, I want to hoop.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of guys that love this game of basketball and we don't give a lot of credit to because we always talk about what they not doing. But what he is doing at this point in the season is his ass is on the court hooping and competing, whether it's a play-in or not. He's showing up and giving us what we want.
No one's talking about that.
Nobody's talking about that, and he's doing it. And I watched him hoop the other night, and he looked good.
He did.
And he looked good, and he looked confident, like he want to be there. And so, we cannot address that and say, hey, AD, you're doing an amazing job, and we're glad that he's back on the court.
Yeah. No. That's why we got to have a play-in.
That's why we got to have a play-in.
Moments like that. I got some questions for us, man. Listen, we don't really do a lot of this on the show, but I think right now with where we at, and things could change, but where we at today, let's talk about the playoffs. Let's talk about some predictions.
I just saw the Knicks do something bad to the Hawks the other day. Not even healthy, so.
Yeah, that's
and shout out to Lil Bro. Let's talk about, you brought up the Knicks real quick. Shout out to Lil Bro and what he was able to do.
We got to give Lil Bro a lot of love, man. He was able to help the team go 4-1 when Brunson went down, then McBride went down, and then Campaign went down. And, Tibbs had to break the glass, and I don't know how.
Wright.
Yeah,
so everybody don't know who
if you don't know, that's
is.
my brother, you're a clown.
Dwyane
Wright. but the fact that he's basically the fourth string point guard, and he was able to break the glass. He was out there, he was steady, shot the ball at a high level, shot 40% from three in those 5 games, 10 points a game, 2 steals, 3 assists, 3 rebounds, man. Good job, Dwyane.
Good job, little bro. 4-1 in those 5 games.
That's going into the playoffs.
But now, because of injuries, now Tibbs was actually able to see what he can bring to that team.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yes.
And so now you have a little bit more confidence going into it. Like, we can utilize Dwyane Wright in these certain areas. So he become a specialist for your team, whether it's knocking down shots, whether it's using his length to defend. He's a veteran. He's been around the game for a very long time. And so he's kind of putting himself in a position that when coach looked to the side, he like,
Yeah, I know I got something down here.
You gotta,
all right now.
Yo, when he said Tibbs, though, you guys got to know Tibbs' blueprint. His blueprint is show, improve, right? And once you show and prove that you deserve something, you'll get in that rotation.
For sure.
And you'll be ready. But he's not a coach. If you haven't proven, I'm going to ride him until the wheels fall off. Because I believe, I believe in you.
Yeah.
So you showed me.
Stan Van Gundy, thank you for believing in me.
You showed me that you, no matter if, he said something. He said he'll take 60% of his best player being on the court, right? Somewhere around there, than 100% from a guy that's going to fumble the ball, drop it, not execute. So that's the type of coach. That's why he only plays 7 players, right? And so Dwyane went and proved it.
No doubt.
So going back to the point is Tibbs is a prove-it guy.
Yeah. 3-6. So this is, to me, 3-6 is always interesting.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is Knicks versus Pistons. Why this is interesting, Bob, is somebody who is on the outskirts looking in. What do you think about this matchup?
Man, that's the Knicks are 3?
Yep. Knicks 3, Pistons 6.
Oh, man, that could be an upset, in my opinion.
Talk to me. I like that.
I like Detroit. I like what Detroit's doing. I like how they playing. We talked about them a couple shows ago before, and I like that. I like their point.
Okay.
Oh my gosh! And he plays. I feel like he plays. The word's not mature, but he plays like a grown up.
Yeah.
He's the number 1 overall pick.
Right.
He's pretty good.
No, but I mean he plays mature.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like
a
he
vet.
He plays like a vet, exactly. And for me, I don't know. Again, the Knicks always are. And it's funny because the Knicks, I feel like how when the Heat played the Knicks that one time and the Heat was lower and it was like, I think the Heat can steal it.
Yeah.
I feel the same thing about Detroit. I feel like Detroit, if they get going, they can steal it.
I got one question. How healthy is Jalen Brunson? So if with a Tibbs coach defensive team and Jalen Brunson, I'm sorry, Detroit. I'm sorry. He's that good, Jalen Brunson.
I'm not saying he's not.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I'm not saying he's not.
When I look at that matchup, because Tibbs is known for his defensive system. And both of those teams are physical. They got some fighters. They want. So the scoring in that game can be very low. So what I'm looking at then now, who has a superstar that's shown that he can score the ball in the playoffs.
I think
so. It comes down to that guy.
They just got too many defenders over there for the Knicks. You got OG. You got
too many,
Bridges.
Bro.
You got DeLon.
It's a lot, bro.
What's the other kid?
Josh Hart.
Josh Hart.
Yeah, they got Hart.
It's just a lot of defenders over there, so it's gonna be difficult. And we got to give some love to OG. OG been averaging like 25, 26 the last like maybe I think 16 games. So he's been playing at a super high level. So if they can continue to feed him the ball and let him do his thing and be part of that big three, I feel like the Knicks gonna be hard to beat. And Cat got to be on his A game on both ends.
But see, Cat to me is he's always stepped on. I'm not defending Cat, but you see the impact that he had on Minnesota. We talked about how you got to get rid of him, then you get rid of him, and now you see
struggle.
That is, a gap missing. Then he goes into New York and does what he does.
Yeah.
He is a total matchup problem.
Oh, my God. He's cold.
He has so much talent, man.
Yeah, he does.
He's very good.
And that's a part of why he is, what you said, shitted on? Is that the word?
He's always shitted on.
But that's the part of it because he's so talented. I mean, he's number one pick, right?
God.
Sure.
Yeah.
He's super. Not many players in the game can do what he does at the position that he's at.
Yeah.
And I think people just want to see that consistency in him. And he showed us a lot this year in New York. Away from Minnesota, because we actually got a chance to see him too.
This is first time in the East too.
First time in the East, but we watching them. It's hard to watch Minnesota games, and to catch. A lot of people ain't catching these games. Like you catching Anthony Edwards highlights a lot. A lot of people ain't catching the games on the West Coast and tuning in to Minnesota. So I agree with you. But one thing about the Pistons, and I would say this, going into the playoffs, like you said, I got to see if Jalen Brunson. I got to see if he's healthy.
I got to see if he's healthy.
I got to see to let him come down the basket.
Stop it. No. Because Detroit has been in 4 fights.
This is Detroit. We're talking about the playoffs.
And they've been
I played against Detroit. I need to see if you're healthy.
So coach is over there. Coach
Bickerstaff.
Coach Bickerstaff he's brought back that, bro. They slapping people in the face. No, bro.
I don't know about that, man. We go rewind the film. DiVincenzo was out there moving some furniture,
but not just that. But not just that moment. I'm not even talking about that one fight. I'm not talking about the one fight. Go look at over the course. Who is getting always fine.
Yeah.
Who's getting kicked out of it? What's the big burly guy that's
Isaiah Stewart.
I like him.
Man.
No, I'm not. Listen, I'm not talking about the stupidness in the game when stuff happened.
Okay.
But I'm talking about the physicality that Detroit has brought back to their style.
For sure.
That's the Detroit that I'm used to seeing. Yep. That's the Detroit that we played against. So I like that for them.
But that's why I say the scoring would be down.
Yeah.
And if Bronson is healthy.
I need to touch him up.
Yeah.
God dang it.
I used to get touched up.
That's it.
Look, P.J. Brown touched me up.
Yeah.
Like Jamal McGlory touched me up.
So whoever's
these
out
big
there
guys touched me up when I went down there. Let me see if you're healthy, young fella. You won't come down here? Let's see if you're healthy.
They got some big boys over there.
So I like this matchup, not because Detroit I feel is better than them. Obviously, they're just gaining their experience. They're coming off of some losing seasons. But what I like about it is that they have an identity.
They do.
They come into the playoffs with an identity.
Yep.
And that right there is what a lot of the young teams don't have. Yep. They already have one.
How hard is it to play in Detroit?
I never had a play.
Now, if you're talking about Billups and all them boys, it's different.
He on the next three. He's like, boop, 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 boop.
Talking about them. a little difficult.
No, bro, they used to be, bro, first of all, Detroit basketball was crazy. Like, they used to, like, their sign, their thing used to be Detroit
basketball.
We be in a hotel. They be outside our hotel screaming Detroit basketball. We go to restaurants. They be outside the restaurant. Detroit. They follow us back to our hotel screaming Detroit basketball. Like, the game started before the game in Detroit when we got there. As soon as we got to the hotel, the fans was like, what?
We're here.
Before the players.
Let's go.
So,
and then the announcer had that thing cracking.
the announcer was cool.
Palace. Sean Prince.
Yo, they had the coldest
That shit was
stars
so cold.
ever, dog.
Ben
Before
Wallace.
the game started, you beat people. It's like Mike Tyson back in the day. Before it started, he already done won. That's how the Pistons was back in the
It was
day.
cold in there.
They were cold. So I like the identity of the Pistons.
Yeah.
Even, what I'm saying, they're
like
getting there. Like, you got to have an identity. Their identity right now is like, listen, we going to try to fuck you up.
Yeah.
Facts.
And not in a dirty way, but more so like, we're going to protect our stuff. We're going to protect what we building.
Detroit basketball.
Let's talk about Tobias Harris then. Tobias Harris has been a long-time client, and his impact on bringing that culture, what Coach Biggerstaff is putting in, coming from the Sixers, they're back in the playoffs. He's quietly leading. He's a scorer. He's been around the league a long time. He could be, an X factor for them to win.
Yeah,
He's been playing great all season.
Him and Tim
Timmy
Hardaway,
they've
too.
been
Playing
doing a
great.
great job.
Playing great.
Great
Great
Beasley as well.
And Beasley. Shout out to Beasley, man.
Beasley been playing well.
Yeah, he's playing great.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
these
need
three
vets.
great.
Bring the vets. Bring the vets back,
Bring
man.
the vets in, man.
Bring the vets
Tell
back,
you,
man.
that's
Bring the
it.
vets in.
Okay.
All right.
Great
I like
vets.
that.
Last team in the Eastern Conference, Pacers versus Bucks. That's the 4-5 series. Pacers is home and
That's
Bucks.
gonna be interesting. No Dame Lillard.
No Dame.
No Dame.
They might get ran up out the gym.
Yeah.
The pace is crazy. You ain't walking it up the court with them.
Nah.
You got to get back. And last year playoffs, they were running up and down the court so fast. Boston beat them twice on 2 buzzer beaters. They had a buzzer beater 3 to win, and Indy was up in Boston and blew the game on a turnover, a 3, and it was go home. So Boston wound up beating Indiana last year.
Yeah.
Really, they stole 2 games, which they did it perfectly with veterans,
That's
which
what
you're
you gotta do.
supposed to
That's
do.
what you got to do.
Yeah, no
But
doubt.
when you think of, you fast forward, they're pretty healthy.
Yeah, no doubt.
And when you watch them play, they getting up and down the floor at a high pace, bro.
And that's the Bucks. One of their weaknesses.
Their weakness is defense and pace.
They don't defend at a high level, and they don't rebound at a high level. So Indiana has the opportunity to beat them in all those
Bro,
categories.
So is this the
It's
last
a bad
time?
matchup.
All right, but definitely a bad
It's a
matchup,
bad
especially
matchup.
without having one of the greatest, one of the top 75 players of all time.
Facts.
I think
It's a
people
bad
forget
matchup.
Yes.
that Dame is one of the top
Come on
75
now.
players of all time.
Yeah.
So yes, you going into it with not having a top 75, one of the top 75, it's definitely gonna be tough. But is this the last that we possibly gonna see of this makeup? Doc Rivers on the sideline, Giannis and Dame led Bucks. If they get knocked out of the first round, is this the last that we possibly see of this team's makeup right now? Does Milwaukee need to do something?
I hope so.
I think so, because you look at that roster, you got a Bobby Porter's. He just coming back from 25 game suspension. Not a good look. You got Brook Lopez. He's getting up there as well. So you probably want to get a much younger, more versatile. Well, he is versatile now, but maybe a rim runner or defender.
Yep.
And then you got Kuzma. I don't know what his deal looks like. You know what I mean?
And you got Porter.
And you got Porter.
Right, you got
Those are all guys that kind of like you can, you don't mind starting over. You know what I'm saying? There's not no guy that we got to keep him here, you know? So it's going to be difficult, man, if they don't have the results, because I think Giannis, he's going to do like all the other superstars. He's going to go out there and see what's out there for him. He want to win.
Yo, he's been very open about
Yeah.
making sure that the Bucks stay very competitive. He's going to sign back with them.
Facts.
You know, I mean, he hasn't shied away from, I want to be here, but only if y'all going to be,
I
we're
don't
going to be
see
competitive.
Giannis ever wearing another jersey. I don't believe it. He's from Greece. And he's very comfortable there. And even with him barking that, they'll move everybody around. But I don't really see him wearing another jersey. He looks up to guys like Cole that played for one franchise. You listen to that conversation with him spending that time in the summer. I think he's already kind of planting his feet, and he's decided that that's what he's going to do. Only team that can lure him out would be.
Well, I mean, Cole played for one franchise because the Lakers did their job to get him the players, and the finances, and all the things that he wanted. It wasn't like he wasn't threatening to leave at
a couple times. I'm talking about the threat is there, but I don't believe it's. I think it's just smoke.
I just don't see him being there, and you got to replace a coach, another superstar. Like, who gonna go to Milwaukee though?
To play with Giannis?
Yeah,
I mean, Dame is there.
But I'm saying though, because if they don't win, he gonna want that roster to be a little bit different. So who can you really get there? So I'm saying that because you said you don't see him going nowhere.
Yeah, I don't see him going nowhere.
I see him going to a place where some guys that's gonna help him win at a high level. Not saying Dame and none of those dudes can. I just see if it doesn't work out, him going to a situation with another two superstars.
I think Milwaukee is a very important place for him.
Okay.
I watched his documentary when he was sitting in the car, with his father and mother not being able to come over, him working on getting their passports, his connection to that place is important to him.
Okay.
And I think that it would be very hard to get him to just leave to go to another situation. I think he believed that he can always create his situation.
Got it.
And they built a new facility for him. They built a new arena to play in. Everything is built around him. And you can change out a coach. And
so you saying Leon Rose called him,
he's not going to New York.
Okay.
No.
I don't.
The only place I ever thought that he would potentially leave that gets big players.
Lakers.
That's it.
New York. Hey, I don't know.
Okay, we're going to see. I like that, though. We'll end with that, but let's go to the 4-5 matchup. Let's go to the Nuggets versus the Clippers. What's y'all predictions on the Nuggets versus the Clippers?
I have to go with the Clips, man. A healthy Kawhi this hard.
Come on, D, right? Come on now. You from L.A.
No. I'm just a realist, baby.
I'm gonna go with him on that too.
Really good.
I'm Denver over here.
You just look at the Nuggets; they're not the same team since they got rid of KCP. Before, KCP was that guy that defended Jamal Murray, been in and out of the lineup, not really healthy.
Yeah, Bruce Brown.
Yeah, Bruce Brown. That was another one. Jeff Green. So,
but we got Russ.
Yeah, Russ is an amazing player. We all know that, but I'm just saying those were guys that fit perfect for that team, what they brought. So I really think they've been doing a good job with developing Peyton Watson and Brown?
Yeah.
Is it
Christian?
Christian Brown.
Christian Brown.
Yeah, it's Brown.
They've been doing a great job of giving them opportunities, but I just don't think those guys are ready to, help that team win a playoff series. Yeah, so that's why I got the Clippers.
They still got AG.
Yeah, they still got AG. They got great players still. I'm not going to take that away.
Forget it. They got Jokic.
That's why we didn't even get to the big fella.
Imagine, should we go? Are we going?
Hold on. This is what
you said. Hawk down. By the way, couple shows back.
Yes, I talked about the MVP. You got to run through the tape.
You
got to run through the tape.
Run through the tape.
He's playing the best basketball of his life right now.
I got Denver in the series,
but I'm still going with the Clips.
When I look at coaching, and I know this is something that D always talk about is a coach got to win you a game, and the Clippers got T. Lue. I'm over here thinking in my head like, I'm thinking in my head, I'm listening to you, and I'm like, I'm agreeing with you the whole time, and I'm looking at X factors. So now you've canceled out a lot of things for my thoughts. Then I'm looking at what coach can win a game.
T. Lue.
Okay. Then I say, who got the best player on the court? No.
Oh, you said best player.
The best player.
Jokic.
So then for me, I'm going to go with the best player. I'm going to go with someone that can control the pace, someone that can get this young talent to believe, someone that understands his system and get to the free throw line and pick you apart. I don't think the Clippers have an answer for him, period. And by not having an answer for him puts Denver, to me and my thought and my opinions, it edges him because he's that good. And you saying he's running to the end.
Yes.
He's running through the tape.
He's running through the tape. Yeah. He's going for that MVP.
And when they do
don't let his
make it hard for
humbleness,
you.
the game
that
I went to with my son, he had 36, 24, and 22. Something like they did something that nobody ever done with the triple-double, right? but what makes it really good is you got Russell Westbrook coming off the bench. And even with the young talent,
And I think that's a problem too right there.
He should be starting.
Damn right. Go look at the record when Russell was starting. And they got some other kid in there that's not bringing that same type of energy. That's
go back to coaching then.
Yeah, that's an adjustment. You got to look at it. We all analytics now. Look at it right there. It's in your face.
Wow.
Russell Westbrook is a difference maker when he's in the starting lineup. Period.
Is it because Russ prepares so much for the game? He's such a competitor.
Yeah. And Russ plays hard.
So
Yes.
you're saying so some people are better starters
Damn right.
Then they are coming
on the bench.
Yeah.
And he's a guy that you want.
He's never came off the bench. That's why he's a
but
better
not
starter.
even that. He's just ready to go when he pull up to the arena.
Facts.
Yeah.
And he gets that engine. So basically, that it maybe needs some adjustments.
For sure, I agree.
This is going to be one of the most interesting series in the playoffs to me right now on paper. Because I agree with you on this. I feel that they have the best player. They obviously have experience on that sideline. I feel that they should be able to win this. They have home court advantage.
Yep.
They're playing very well. Obviously, Jokic is playing at an MVP level. I feel like they should be able to win this. But what gives you a little pause is the fact that you think of James Harden, you think of Kawhi, you think of the season that Zubac is having as well. They're going to come.
Norman Powell.
The Clippers are, Norman Powell. The Clippers are, they're going to come.
They gonna
And
come.
they got Ty Lue on that sideline. They coming at you.
They do.
And so when I look at that, I'm like, man, this right now has the potential to be, kind of, to me, like that Knicks Pistons, where you just don't know. And even though Denver's supposed to win, Kawhi Leonard coming back off surgery, the fourth or fifth surgery whatever he had on his knee, he is shiftier than he's ever been. Bro, he looked real good. And one thing we forget, I think, a little bit is because he hasn't been healthy, is how cold he is in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Can no one guard him when he get that ball about 15 feet out or in, however way you want to say it, and he's never been able to be stopped. So when I look at that, I'm like, this is going to be a very tough matchup for Denver.
If Kawhi is locked in, bro,
he locked
in the playoffs.
I mean, it looks like he locked in. It's just going. I think he's going to be
Nicholas
going.
Batum, another vet. They got a lot of pieces, man. Where I just feel like they got a little bit more.
If health-wise, if they healthy, I would take a bet on that one.
Yeah. And Clippers are 5th seed.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
I got Denver.
All right. Well, there you go. There go our predictions. We'll be tapping in. We'll be tuning in. Everybody, this is what we love. Like I said, this is the time of the year where basketball fans, we get to set our schedules around the playoffs. So we're gonna be here. We're gonna be talking about it. We're gonna see what everybody else talking about. Hopefully the fans, we can get you guys' reactions so we can come on the show. We can talk about some of the things that y'all saw as well. Tell y'all that y'all wrong or y'all right, and y'all thinking. So another episode of The Timeout with Dwyane Wade. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Peace.